Hey guys, in this lesson I'm going to be breaking down an 8-bar section of Stevie Ray Vaughan's epic solo in Mary Had a Little Lamb live at Austin City Limits. If you haven't seen that concert, do yourself a favor, check it out. It's incredible. If you're around my age, you started playing guitar in the 80s, and Stevie Ray Vaughan was probably your first guitar hero. He certainly was mine. I was lucky enough to see him live a couple times, the last time just before he passed away tragically, but it was an incredible experience I'll never forget. Be sure to come by TastyGuitar.com, get the free tab for this lesson by subscribing on the bottom of the homepage, and check out membership at Tasty Guitar, where you get interactive Soundslice tab, backing tracks, feedback on your playing, live workshops, and so much more. Tune up and let's get started. All right, guys, let's go ahead and break this down. Now, I am tuned down a half step, and I really suggest you do the same if you want to follow along. And what this is basically an 8-bar form that just kind of keeps repeating, and it's the last 8 bars of a 12-bar blues in E. So we're in the key of E here, and it's basically picking up where your 4 chord would be there in measure number 5 and playing out the rest of the 12-bar form. Now, pretty much all of this is played right up here at the 12th fret position, your E minor pentatonic. And this is starting again on the 4 chord. All right, so I'm going to break this down kind of lick by lick. So I'm going to play through something that's an entire phrase and then come back and break it down slowly. So here is the first phrase I'm going to break down. Again. All right, so what is happening here is we're aiming for that E note there at the 14th fret on the D string. You're going to hit that twice, but it's not simply just pick. It's more like a strummed feel. So you're going to hit that and also the dead top 3 strings together with that note. So you really have to mute the G, B, and high E string with the index finger back here. Then you're going to go to the barred index finger at the 12th fret and hit that. Again. On beat 2, a couple more strums with that barred first finger, and then back to your E note there at the 14th fret on the D string. So here's the first 2 beats. And now let's add beat 3. Gonna go back up to the chord, hit the note again, and end with the chord. Again. Here's the next lick, and then I'll come break this down. What we're doing here is bending that 14th fret on the G string up full, release, pulling that off to the G note, E, pulling that off to the D, ending on the B note at the 14th fret on the A string. Now this lick is kind of a continuation of that more strummed, aggressive feel that we had in the first lick, so don't just play it really cleanly like this. You want to have more of those dead percussive notes around there. So I'm coming all the way from the top here. Kind of break up, hit that dead high E and B underneath that A note. Also right there, when I hit the E note and pull it off to the D, that's more of an aggressive strummed attack. Next, you're going to kind of end that phrase by going to the G note there at the 12th fret on the G string, hit that and give it a little vibrato. And we're going to finish out this measure by hitting dead strings, pulling off the A to the G, down to the E, bending that A up full, the B note there, that high E back to the B. So this phrase, And that finishes out the first two measures. So here's the first two measures very slowly all together. All right, in the next phrase, it starts to get a little bit tricky because we're playing a lot of 16th notes and it's really cooking at full tempo. I'm going to play this really slow and then come back and break it down. All right, all E minor pentatonic here, starting by bending your D note up full. Grab the high E, then the B with a barred first finger. Pull the D off down to the B. Down to the A, back to the B. Down to the G, down to the E. You may want to do that pull off with your third finger instead. So you're going to go to the A, the G, the E, down to the D, and then you're going to go chromatically. Do a hammer-on pull-off, right there from the A to the B flat, ending on the G note at the 15th fret on the low E string. And at the end of this lick, you're going to go to the E note there at the 14th fret, kind of hammering that onto the D note, ending on the G note there at the 12th fret and giving that some vibrato. Here's this phrase all together. The next section is pretty much all 16th notes all the way to the end, but I'm going to break it up a little bit here. I'm going to play it slow, and then I'll come back and break it down. All right, starting at the bend at the 14th fret, up full. To the B, high E, back to the B. Bend the 15th fret on the B string, up full. Gonna hold that out a little bit. Up to the high E, back down to the D, back to the B. Again. Up to the F sharp at the 14th on the high E, then down to the E at the 12th fret. After that E note there, you're going to go up to the G note, kind of bend that up quarter. Back down to the barred first finger. So far this section. Next part of this lick. Ending that on kind of a pre-bent note, the A kind of bent up half step. Bring it back, pull it off, end on the E note there at the 14th fret on the D string. So again, here is this phrase really slowly. All right, and now into the last two measures. In this next measure, it kind of gets back to more of that strummed attack that he was doing in the intro. So we're not going to really play these notes like this. It's not the right feel. So you're pretty much aiming for the string that the note is on and then hitting all the dead strings above it. So you really got to have your muting together back with that index finger. So it's a really important thing in Stevie's style, especially in this tune, some other tunes with more of the funky feel, where he's not really picking the stuff, just single notes. He's really hitting all those dead strings around it. The next bar is where we're going to end things, but what he was really doing here is setting up the next repetition in the changes. And this is starting on the and a beat 1, 1. So the 14th fret, bend that up full. to the B note, 15th fret on the B string, kind of hit that, and with a quarter bend, half bend, full bend, and then finishing it out, high E, B, sliding up to the 17th fret. And then you can continue on with the next chorus of the solo. Now I'll try to play this entire 8-bar section from top to bottom.